stated that the reason why black men are perceived the way they're perceived or treated the way they're treated is because black women are the only race of women who literally will sit and talk about black men. You don't hear the Chinese women talking about Chinese men and the shit they do wrong. You don't hear Hispanic women talking about Hispanic men. You don't hear Arab women talking about Arab men. And you definitely really ever see white women talking about white men. All these other races of women will literally do anything they can to protect their race of men, except for black women. And I just don't fucking understand why. Black women grew up hating their black fathers, and that's the fucking reason why they hate black men. I feel bad for you black women who are raising black sons. Shit, even black daughters, because y'all teaching them the wrong shit. Black women are our own.
A lot more manipulation, a lot more gaslight, a lot more projection. I want to see you guys tell a man no offense right before you offend him. I need to see a lot more triangulation. Right before a man finishes his point, I want you to change the topic completely. I want to see you guys say no disrespect and then proceed with hella disrespect. I want to see more comparisons, preferably to celebrities. Insults, 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 and get creative with it. I need to see you guys calling the police more often and pressing charges every time. Bring up his dad. Randomly. Whenever you can. Lie. Randomly. I need to see us giving full disclosure on things that we probably shouldn't give full disclosure on. Don't cheat back. Cheat first. A lot of men don't believe you have it in you. You gotta show them. I want to see you do things to make him mad and then shame him for being emotional. When you're having an argument and you know you're wrong, I need you to agree to disagree. Use the silent treatment at the slightest inconvenience. I want to see love bombing. I want you to tell him that you will kill for him. I want you to say that you've already killed somebody before. Tell him you got away with it. Cheat, and then let him know that you're cheating. And then use that guy to triangulate with him. Get really close to his lead employee. Make his mom love you, and then talk shit on her every chance you get. Every time you say you're going to do something, don't. Make him nag you for it. Practice moving the goalposts and move that as often as you can. I want to see more women take calls and then run out the room.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Kol Holayim La, Al-Banawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakat, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Sirach chapter 25 verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So basically, as we know and as we continue to see, all wickedness has no limit. It's like no limits, no cut cards, no standards when it comes to the wickedness of a woman, man. Because she doesn't regard your feelings. She doesn't, really give a damn, to be clear and blunt and straight direct, man. And when it states, let the portion of a sinner fall upon her, let her be judged, let her get the judgment, a grievous, horrific judgment of a sinner, man. Okay, because again, there's no limitations, there's no standards. When she feels, because that's how women go about processing things, when they feel disrespected, wronged, whatever it may be, it's by any means necessary, man. By any means necessary for her to get her vengeance, revenge, to establish her point, etc., man. Or even just to get her way. Okay? And it's really like, it also, goes further than the wickedness of the wicked, man. Okay, because you have a nation that was born to be the wicked, that was born to bring forth death, mayhem, chaos, take away peace, bring forth vexation, etc. But when it comes to a woman's wickedness, it's above and beyond, man. Okay? It's above and beyond because furthermore, these women have been given a very, very great abundance of liberty to get abroad. Okay? And you have some of the Israelite women waking up, smelling the coffee, and you have some that have been seeing the truth but still choose to stay in the position that they're in because they're comfortable, and also because they believe that masses shall rise and always be in rulership. Okay? Now, before I go on with the lesson, the beloved Ra'ash Manigan sent me this first clip. Okay, the name of this first clip was talking about the Willie Lynch letter. And I have something I'm going to read out of the Willie Lynch letter. And I highly advise you, beloved Akim wa Akwaf, to stay tuned, because it goes very spiritual with this lesson. And Salakia, and that was one of the main reasons why the beloved Ra'ash Manigan sent me this video, because he knows I have this book and I've done prior lessons, and this is also to add on to those other lessons. Now the second video where you see this evil wicked bitch speaking, you know, it's look, man, it's spiritual, because like I said, Elder Monaghan sent me this video the night prior, and then I woke up, I saw this, and then I had saw this before I saw what the elder sent me, and then I saw what the elder sent me, and I was like, man, this is the spirit. This is literally the spirit. Literally the spirit, man. You cannot refute or deny this, man. Okay, but Salaki, for being long-winded again, I'm going to read some passages to go with this lesson out of the Willie Lynch letter, because it's also spiritual and edifying. Okay? Well, let's continue. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. And I don't want to rock aside. This is edifying, uplifting, and informative. You know, just to go into the history and, you know, to dig into things, man. This is Ephesians chapter 5, starting off at verse 9. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth. And that's only going to dwell and sup and be amongst the remnant, which we hope and pray to be, man. Okay, that's why we continue to walk in the Spirit, continue to think in the Spirit, continue to see things in the Spirit, continue to conduct ourselves in the Spirit, so we can walk uprightly and conduct ourselves in a righteous manner, and also do the good will and bidding and what's desirable and pleasing to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's why we also have been from and by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Salakia, have been severed from amongst this society, mentally and spiritually. Okay, obviously we're still here physically, because, you know, again, we're subject to payments, we're here in captivity, etc. I'm not going to go down the list, you should already know. Okay, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 9. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And as Yahweh Shai stated, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, and an evil tree cannot bring forth good fruit. So the good tree is going to do what's acceptable and beneficial to the ministry of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, reprove, rebuke, warn, prophesy, edify. You know, be brotherly. You know, be a sister. You know, all the things to transform and renew ourselves, to walk and conduct ourselves in a righteous manner amongst all this filth, all the abominations, all the perverseness, everything that we see on a day-to-day basis, man, that we're surrounded by. Okay? So those that come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, especially his true seers, his true watchmen, his true mouthpieces, they're going to do what's acceptable. Okay, they're not going to acknowledge their own selves and manifest their own destiny. No, they're going to walk and take heed to the guidelines and instructions of the Lord, man. Verse 11, having no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. Now, what you see, this second Walter beast, okay, this second subhuman talking about, this is the work of darkness. This is the work of the wicked. This is the indoctrination that these women have cleaved onto, man. Okay, and what the first woman said is, you know, you don't see which now you do. Now you do. You know, you have the so-called white woman exposing the so-called white man, and yes, and yes, there's a couple things that she was off on that I'm gonna speak on. Yes, you do have so-called Hispanic Latino women speaking against they men. Okay, and you know, but as far as like if you want to say maybe 40, 50 years ago, it wasn't so. It wasn't so with the so-called white nation. Let's say that. But, you know, amongst the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indian, you know, it's always been like that. But, you know, as stated and as we know, Northern Kingdom gets it first. But the Southern Kingdom, Judah, gets it worse, man. Okay, that's why, you know, Judah's always at the forefront, you know, because Judah only, Yahweh, is the main tribe. Okay? And those are the ones that have to be belittled. Those are the ones that have to be shown to suffer and go through all types of hell first, man. You know, so the other tribes can stay in line. Okay? Ephesians 5 verse 11. And having no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. And that's what we do. We don't have any fellowship with any of this man's philosophies, his customs, his traits, his indoctrination, his nonsense, his BS. Okay, and those of us that come back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're being re-educated. Okay, we're being enlightened to the truth. Okay, but as you see and as you saw and as you continue to see on the example of this video, you see one woman that is completely a demon. Well, so like I'm not even going to say demon because demon goes back to intelligence. I'll just say, you know, a complete brute beast. Okay, that has that pure hatred, man. That pure hatred that, you know, that is drunk in the Kool-Aid and believe, which, you know, this brother's not even attractive, man. You got on somebody else's hair. That looks like a way. That's no way. That's no fucking way. That's her hair, man. There's no way. That shit is too stiff. Okay, but they have fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, which is ran by Esau, Edom. But let's continue. And this also goes back to the curses, man. You know, first and foremost. But at this point, with the prophets, you know, giving you the truth and telling you why we're in the conditions that we're in, you have no excuses. Because once these things have been taught and spoken to you, you're supposed to change. You understand the history. You understand the mystery of why things have gone the way they have gone and why our people go through the things that they go through, that we go through, Salakia. So you have no excuse. You can't say, well, it's the curses. No, we say it, you know, all the time. We let it be known. So you can't use we under the curses. Yeah, we under the curses, but when the Lord is out here speaking and warning you and telling you what to do to observe and how to avoid punishment, man. Okay, and how to lessen the affliction and the vexation from these curses, man. Okay, so this is the book of Deuteronomy. I'm gonna read a part of this. Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna read verse 56. A part of verse 56. Salakia. The tender and delicate woman among you, okay, the Israelite woman, the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native and Seminole Indian woman, all 12 tribes. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So it was to a point where our woman wouldn't even put her bare foot on the ground. Okay, because they was tender and delicate at one point. Okay, because, you know, this is the worst captivity we've been in, and this is the most you know, wicked, diabolical our people have ever been, man. Okay, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, man. And that's just not talking about just a husband. That's talking about all men. Okay, and again, her children. Because, you know, it's basically stated in 2 Timothy chapter 3, everybody has a spirit of selfishness. It's all about them. Okay, you know, these women are literally worried about themselves and really disregard the children, man. Okay, and again, there's numerous examples when it comes to women and men, because this applies to both. You know, it states it in verse 54 that the man shall leave his children. And again, as I just read in verse 56, it states that the woman's eye will be evil towards her husband. Again, not only her husband, but other men of our nation. Okay, same thing with the man. The man will have an evil eye towards his brother, not just his own blood brother in his own household, but also his brother of his nation. Okay, these are part of the curses. Okay? Point blank period. But again, you can't use these things as an scapegoat, because you know you've been informed. You know why. Okay, so all this madness that this the second woman is speaking on here, you're gonna have to give an account for everything that you speak. Okay, it literally states in various precepts that the tongue is a deadly weapon. The tongue can lead you to death. The tongue can lead you to your demise, man. And Yahweh Shai said that, man. And also Yahweh said, you know, do my prophets no harm, man. And that harm is not just physical, which I've gone into numerous amounts of times. It's not just physical, it's also verbal, social. Okay? Let's grab this, because you're gonna have to give account for everything that you say, especially when y'all literally say y'all speaking against the prophets. The Lord don't take these things lightly, man. In general. But especially towards his men, especially towards the ones that sacrifice themselves to warn you, to educate you, and amongst other things. This is St. Matthew 12, starting from verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, and this woman right here is speaking a lot of idle nonsense, a lot of things that's going to lead her to be destroyed, that's going to lead her to suffer, that's going to lead her to make her stand on what she believes, man. Okay? And you know, as the beloved Ra'ash Salaki, the beloved elder Yashawama stated in a video that Elder Manat Zakba posted, Jake just need to stop pressing the record button, man. And that's the truth, because a lot of you Israelites literally prop that camera, whether you holding it or you putting it in a phone holder, whatever it may be, press that damn record button, spew out all this madness, and then you have the guts, okay, the courage to upload this stuff on social media platforms and be proud about it, man. When you look like fools, man, straight fools, man. Goodness gracious, man. Everybody just need to shut the hell up, man. Real talk, man. Everybody just need to shut. But you know what? The Lord gonna shut up all y'all, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai gonna make y'all regret every single word that y'all say, especially you damn simple-minded feminist women that want to be men, that have penis envy, and you weak-ass men. You're going to eat those words, man. The Lord is going to make you stand on business, man. St. Matthew 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. And all y'all gonna give an account of what y'all say in the day of judgment, man. Because what you're speaking is not going to justify you in any righteousness. It's not going to make the Lord give favor to you to considering in valuing your life. Okay, the Lord sees no value in people like you see on the screen. Well, you know, the second black vulture. Okay, the second black vulture. Okay, this young lady right here, she obviously got somewhat sense, but she knows she needs more guidance. So she has a strong chance, you know, to repent, because she has way more sense than this one right here, man. This one's just a maniac, man. Okay, verse 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified. Okay, and who's going to be justified? The prophets. As it states, there should be no gall in their mouth, roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay, because the Lord has touched our mouths, and we speak what he tells us to speak. Okay, we're pre-programmed every day when we go to sleep, especially to bring out the lessons, man. And you know, that's why we always state, and myself too, that the lessons that we put up are not ours. They're Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's. Period, man. And by thy words thou shalt be condemned. This is a pure example of somebody being condemned. Okay, and also too, Salakia. And if you notice, man, the Lord, this is beautiful, man, because the Lord is really showing forth his control. Because you have a lot of brothers at the same time doing videos like this, doing videos with responses to women, correcting, not, to bash or nothing like that. It's not about bashing or, making it seem like we hate women. No, we hate wickedness, man. We don't hate women. We love women. We hate wickedness, whether it be men or women. Okay, but the Lord the Lord is directing the show, man. The Lord is in control, man. Okay, so that should let you people know, man. So don't come on the comment board talking your stupid shit. Okay? Well, let's jump here because look, man. Let's get another scripture about you running your mouth. And again, these are not just for women. These are for everybody. And like I just stated earlier, the beloved Ra'ash Monagan sent this video to me. The first one, this one right here, because the title for this video was about the Willie Lynch syndrome. And then we're going to bring some of the Willie Lynch letter out. Okay, so this is the book of Sirach, chapter 23, and I'm going to read verse 7 and 8. Hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth. Okay, so, and that's something that, Abanawaratazah, we the prophets, we work on, is the discipline of our mouths, man. And that's why we think before we speak. We don't speak before we think before we speak. Okay? And it's not just a quick process, man. Because, the first thing foremost, we don't want to offend Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we damn sure don't want to offend any of our brothers, man. We're not inconsiderate people like they are in the world, that just say what they want to say and think there's going to be no recompense for their actions, man. Okay? No. We practice a discipline every single second of the day, man. Especially in the world, man. Especially in the world, man. You have to be very disciplined to know this truth, to know what you know, and to grow and prosper in this truth, and to also conduct yourself with great discipline in the world, man. That's not an easy task, man. Because of the things you see and what you know, you just like, damn, man, this is vexing, this is crazy, this is that. But you got to be disciplined. Okay, you got to move circumspectly, man. Okay? Hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth. He that keepeth shall never be taken in his lips, man. And this is very important. Because again, we watch what we say, we think before we speak. But you Babylonians, you men, you women, you don't do that. You don't have discipline. You don't have structure. You don't have control. You're just unstable, unruly, okay, unbearable. Nobody. Come on, man. Who in the hell? Who in the fuck is dealing with this, bro? A lot of you men, man. Because a lot of you men. Goodness gracious, I don't even want to go into it, man, because I'm gonna start talking more, man. Salakia, verse 8. The sinner shall be left in his foolishness, but the evil speaker and the proud shall fall thereby. And that's talking about mainly this second woman on this video and others that have the same mentality like her. And men that come on the comment board talking nonsense. Men that believe in these strongholds of the world. These idols that they worship, the nonsense, like Dr. Umar, the bullshit he talk about, that Kemet nonsense, the Nation of Islam, all these things. You can manifest your own destiny. You can do this, you can do that. All the things that you evil speakers and you so-called Israelites that say you in the truth, that speak corrupt communication. That's not correctly the truth. That's an abomination. That's evil speaking, because you're proud and you're gonna fall, man. What does it say? Pride coming before a fall. If you paraphrasing, Salakia. Pride coming before destruction, Salakia. And that disconnects you from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, but we know from studying from learning, from being informed and given the understanding from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah that the woman is the weaker vessel. And we also know that the woman's trait is survival mode. You know, even though we know and we understand that it's treason, it's betrayal, but again, a woman's mentality is survival mode. So she has been indoctrinated and also giving a false trust, a false hope, a false security from this damn devil. The devil has used our woman to destroy our nation, and mainly to destroy the men. Because, you know, as it also states in the book of Psalm 64, they do a diligent search, so they know. And also in the book of Jude, that refers to that too. So they did a search of our nation, of how to continuously to keep us to downfall, how to keep us in a low state. But I'm going to read 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3, and I'm going to read this in the AMP. But I am afraid that even as the serpent, okay, the so-called white man, because he is that serpent who is the red Hebrew Edomite, our twin brother, our biggest adversary, our biggest enemy. But I am afraid that even as the serpent beguiled Eve by his cunning, okay, because this devil, man, this devil is not stupid. He's very cunning, very crafty. Okay, very sneaky with his tactics. Okay, but as it states in 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay, because we're the real, as they say, woke people. We're the real woke ones on the planet right now. The remnant of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, which we hope and pray to be. But right now, we're the hopeful elect. So the Lord has given us the blueprint. The Lord has us 10 steps ahead of this devil to know what he's going to do. Okay? And that's not being proudly, that's being truthful. Okay? By his cunning, your minds may be corrupted. And that's what he did. He corrupted their minds. And it just didn't start now in the 60s. It didn't start in the 80s, the 90s. No. This went back from the slave ships until now. And it was processes. It was steps to get to this point. And again, we're going to read some of the Willie Lynch letter to prove that. And again, because we're not giving this devil no credit, no acknowledgement, it all goes to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah first and foremost, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is in control of everything. Sirach 18, verse 1 to 3, I believe. Proverbs 21, verse 1, just to name a couple. Everybody's doing the Lord's will. Salakia, everybody. Let's make that clear. Because we got our asses whipped. And also, when your kid goes off and you want him to learn how to conduct himself correctly, how to go about things the right way, you chastise, you reprove, you correct your child. And now that we have been awoken, we know that the Lord loves us. We know what we have gone through is the love of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and also for us to understand good and evil. The Lord, as it states in the book of Isaiah, I believe, chapter 46, declaring the end from the beginning. So all this was written from the beginning to happen the way it's happening right now. We had to go through these things. Okay? So let's grab this and I'm going to read some of that Willie Lynch letter. I'm going to grab this last precept and then we'll close it on out. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, because, you know, even though we got our asses whipped, you know, belt to ass, hey, man, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai got something way worse for our adversaries, especially the Edomites, man. They're going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, Verse 22. Therefore, whereas thou didst, therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. So, even though we've been corrected, chastised, put through hell, in bondage, captivity to captivity to captivity, etc., etc., it's all for our benefit. But when the Lord brings forth that final judgment in this last captivity upon our enemies, what does it say? Thou scourgest our enemies, all 17 nations, including 2/3 of our people, because they're going to partake in that massive judgment before the kingdom. Okay? 1,000 times more, 1,000 times more. So what we're going through right now is nothing compared to the judgment, the first judgment, the downfall of Babylon, aka America, this rulership. That's the beginning of their judgment. That's going to happen. That's going to be brought forth first. And then we get those new bodies. We come down here with Yahweh Shai, King David, the 12, 144,000. Abanawa Ratazai were a part of that. The 2/3. And that's when that 1,000 times scourges more is going to happen. That's when that hardcore bondage is going to be activated. And we're really going to get to put in some work. We're going to get Salaki. I'm excited. I just feel so good speaking about it. We're going to get to get our hands dirty. We're going to be able to get revenge. Thus saith the scriptures. Okay? To the intent that when we judge, okay, so when we judge, when we're in a rulership, because what does it say in Proverbs 11 verse 1? A just balance is the Lord's delight. So we have to know how to judge correctly. Okay? When we're in rulership, we can't be rehearsing and practicing. No, we're going to be judging correctly and in balance. We're going to be able to discern righteously. All right? To the intent, when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness. So we shall carefully think of the goodness, the mercy, the consideration that the Lord had for us, not to forsake us, not to go against his word, to keep his promise. All the things that he said he would do for our nation, from our forefathers. Okay? And when we ourselves are judged, what we went through, how was it? We deserved it. We'll understand all things, basically, good and evil. Okay? We should look for mercy. Okay? Verse 23. Wherefore, whereas men have lived dissolutely, Salakia. Well, men have lived dissolutely, Salakia. Let's look at that word dissolutely. Dissolutely. I think that's what it is, Salakia.
Dissolute.
Yeah, dissolutely. It says lack restraint, especially marked by indulgence in things such as drink or promiscuous sex deemed vices. Okay? But indulgence in things that's not considered to be righteous. Let's say it like that. Wherefore, Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 23. Wherefore, whereas men have lived dissolutely and unrighteously, thou hast tormented them with their own abomination. So what does that mean? I'm going to quote a precept and that'll explain it. Whatever you sow, that shall you reap, man. Point blank period, man. That's what that means. Alright, so got the precepts, I didn't intend for it to be this long, but hey, man, if you don't want to take heed to the lesson, no fucking well. Go watch something else. Lord willing, is edifying to those that stuck it through. Alright, so this is the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave, Willie Lynch, who we're gonna have fun in the kingdom with when we get down and dirty. Alright, so this is the making of a slave chapter and I'm on page 9. And it says you must use the female, because this is the point of a process that was started. And it also stated where he said right here, this would last for 300 years. And this was spoken 1712, December 25th, 1712. So he said 300 years. So that would mean it would stay in effect till 2012. 2012. Okay, and we know that roughly 2007, 2008 is when a great flood of brothers that we have as elders right now came to the truth, and so long with us. So that's when the Lord, really awoke a lot more people up, and which He's still waking up people to this day. But just a side note. Okay, so making of the slave, page 9. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. So this is exactly why she's speaking the way she's speaking. This is the indoctrination from back in the day. That was, literally spread and fed and taught from generations to generations to generations. Okay, which also came with the curses, man. Because again, everything is from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But the Lord used this devil to apply these things. Okay. You must use the female versus the male and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. And we see that today, right? Going into the government benefits. What is the big talk right now? SNAP, food stamps, trusting in the government, housing, trusting in the government, etc., man. Okay? But you have a lot of you have men too. You have men too. And let's make it clear. The biggest welfare people on the planet, that go for the government assistance, whatever program it is the so-called white people. They are the biggest ones that get welfare and help from the government. It's not Jake. Let's make that clear. It's not Jake. Okay? But you do have women of our nation, so-called black, Latino, Native and Seminole Indian, that only put their trust in the government. Okay? They must love, respect, and trust us, and trust only us. Again, they must love, respect, and trust us only. Do you hear that? So who do you think this woman trusts? You think she don't trust the men of our nation. But she trusts Big Daddy government. She trusts Esau though. That's her protector. That's her provider. That's who she loves, respects, and trusts only. Continuing on. Have your wives and children use them. They've been doing this. Never miss an opportunity, which they have not done. They've never missed an opportunity to use these tactics. Okay? If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful of each other. Do you hear that? This still applies today. This is the stuff that was indoctrinated in the women and in our people. Now let's go here, because this is self-explanatory. So I'm gonna go to this is the next chapter. It's called the Cardinal Principles for Making a Negro. The Cardinal Principles for Making a Negro. Now I'm gonna read a lot. I'm gonna read it as slow as possible, but I'm not gonna read it too slow. And it's self-explanatory, but it also applies. It says, you must keep your eye and thoughts on the female and the offspring of the horse and the nigger. A brief discourse in offspring and development will shed light on the key to sound economic principles. You hear that? This is where the independence comes into. You put the woman above the man. You make sure that the woman is, again, as we read, they only respect, love, and trust Esau only. Okay? And they give her all. They take every opportunity to give her, to give her some benefits, some this, some that. Okay? Because you have to You have to give a nigga some hope. Okay, and again, the woman is the weaker vessel, so they gave her some type of hope. Okay? Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. Therefore, if you break the female mother, listen, man, this applies, man. This is what it is, man. Okay? Therefore, if you break the female mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development, and when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you. And that's what we see. And what is she going to do in the midst of that? She's going to indoctrinate the kids to take heed to Jesus Christ, which I hate to say, but it's true. She's going to indoctrinate them to Jesus Christ. She's going to teach them to respect, obey, be loyal, basically a good slave, a good servant to the white man. Because, she thinks in her mind that this is the right way to protect her child, to make him dependent on her and also dependent on the white man and his system, his structure. Okay, continuing on. And also to serve a woman, to pedestalize a woman. You love your mother, you treat women good, this and that. And that's, there's nothing wrong with a young man being taught to respect and to treat women good. But the correct way it should be done is by the man. Okay, not by a woman. And that's no disrespect towards any sister that's listening. Okay, where's the map? She will deliver it up to you, for her normal female protective tendencies will have been lost in the original breaking process. And that goes into the next chapter, which we're not going to read that. I'm going to continue on this. For example, take the case of the wild stud horse, a female horse, and an already infant horse, and compare the breaking process with two compared nigger males in their natural state. Listen, man, this is something that was embedded into these women's head in the hardcore bondage days, man. That basically made them strip the trust, the security from their own men. That made them lean on the so-called white men and not the men of our nation. We got belittled, buck braked, whatever it's called. RAPE. Okay, all that, man. Infant horse, and compared the breaking process with two captured nigger males in their natural state. A pregnant nigger woman with her infant offspring take the stud horse, break him for limited containment, completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in your comfort. So what does that mean? That means by any means necessary. Whether he got to whip you, whether he got to, put you in those, in a certain type of, whatever type of punishment they did, the hot box, whatever it was, to break you, for you to submit. Breed the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring. Okay, and that term, you had this devil doing a lot of wicked shit, man. You had the devil, he would cover, I'm not sure if he would cover, it might have been both. He would cover the son's head up and the mother's head up, and he would make the son have intercourse with the mother to bring forth more offspring. And that's where you got the term motherfucker from. Okay. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. So basically, breaking that man into submission, butt breaking, all types of stuff, man. Whipping, everything. This devil is vile, man. It doesn't say that, but you know what? I think it's going to say that. Let's continue on. Train the female horse, whereby she will eat out of your hand. And what is the so-called black, Latino, Native and Seminole Indian woman doing right now? They're eating out of the hand of the Edomite. That's why they so pissed that these benefits, Okay, these necessities that was given to them is being stripped away. Because the devil has drawn back his hand, Salakia. And she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also. Come on, man, this is self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. When it comes to breaking the uncivilized nigger, use the same process, listen, but vary the degree and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most resentless nigger. Listen, this is what I said. This is literally what I just said about them being Faggots. Take the meanest and most resentless nigger, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, the female and the nigger infant, tar and feather him, look, before I speak this, for those of you that don't know, this is literally what I'm about to say to you right now. This is one of the things that they did. This is like a sacrifice to put fear in our people. And this is all this was also the logo that they used to use for Levi jeans. Yes, you heard me. This is also used to be the logo that they use for Levi jeans. Listen. The female and nigger infant, tar and feather him, tie each leg to a different horse, face in opposite directions, set him a fire, and beat both horses. Okay, listen, and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining nigger. The next step is to take a bullwhip and beat the remaining nigger male to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill him, but put the fear of the Most High in him. Salakia. I'm fucking pissed, man. I'm fucking pissed, man. I'm fucking pissed. I'm so pissed, man. When he said don't kill him, but put the fear of the God in him, he's talking about him. Put the fear of me being his God in him. You fucking motherfuckers, man. For he can be useful for future breeding. You motherfuckers are going to pay, man. You motherfucking pieces of shit are going to fucking pay, man. You're going to pay. I'm so pissed right now, man. That's my first time reading that, man. That's literally my first time. I don't want to wrap this up, man. I hope and I pray that this is edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true sincere Aki and Wa'akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom. So fucking pissed, man. I can't, man. Call all y'all about Shim Yahushua about Shima Kakwadash. Call all y'all about Shim Yahushua about Shima Kakwadash. Call all y'all about Shim Yahushua about Shima Kakwadash, man. I can't wait to get my hand on you fucking devils, man. You ain't gonna get away from what you done to us, man. You not.